Okay. Hello, how's everybody doing? Hopefully everybody's doing great. Today we got another movie. It's kind of crazy, but it's Tron Aces. It came out 2025. They call it a science fiction action film, which they're probably pretty close to right. I didn't see anything love story in there, but the original actor, the original star in the original or the last one. He did a cameo in this movie. That's pretty good. So basically, how this worked is they figured out how to bring stuff out of the TV show or out of the video game console with a machine they made by a billionaire that was obsessed with the original. Then they wanted to update it, new game and all that, and write over the old one so that nobody could play the old one because it was just too much competition for those people. And then they they did all kinds of crazy stuff when it come to that. It turned out to be a pretty good deal. It worked out. Funny, they'd send somebody in to go find the forever code they were looking for, and then they would when they got found and caught from another terminal and in the old game and not the new one, they sent a person from the old game, from the new game into the real world to track this person down. It turned out pretty interesting. They brought some of the equipment and all that out because the person had a job to do. Go get the person who invaded, looking for the forever code and the Tron from the new game. And the Tron from the new game was in the old game trying to find the forever code. It turned out to be an interesting movie. They kind of did all that, and then the game went to the streets. They had it in real world, digital to real life, and they had to beat it in real life, and it's a video game movie. It turned out to be a pretty good movie. I thought it was interesting. I liked watching it. It turned out to be kind of funny, kind of interesting, lots of action. Things got blown up. Special effects went off the chart. Somebody had to work overtime for this one. I bet it took them a long time to make it. Film it. Probably better than a year, and probably all green screen for the actors. And this one, surprisingly or not, was put out by Walt Disney Studios and Motion Pictures. But lately, I haven't been liking much stuff from Walt Disney. You gotta be real careful with what you buy from Walt Disney, or you'll get the message. I don't like the message that they want to send. A friend of mine's got the streaming service. I looked over that, and 90% of their stream is anti-male or anti-men content, and I just don't like that. So I voted with my dollars and not buy get into the streaming service for Walt Disney. And I try not to buy their movies too, but something like this, I went ahead and bought it. But any of the stuff that's crazy and supporting world-ending ideas, I just don't buy. So that makes Disney a little bit more difficult. Makes buying movies a little more difficult because you got to look on the back, find out who did it. But I got this one, and it turned out to be a pretty good movie, which surprised the heck out of me. Walt Disney's been putting out nothing but junk lately. So anyway, they released this one in the United States October 10th, October 10th, 2025. Now, October 6th, they released it in El Centro theaters. outside of the United States. That sucks. So now, it runs 119 minutes long, and even though it's a Walt Disney movie, I do recommend you watch it. There's not really too much messaging in there that's gonna harm you or put you in a position where it's bad, except for they did put women in guys' roles, but it turned out to be an okay movie. They did have some impossible feats going on that wouldn't happen in real life, but you know how it goes. That's just the way things are. So this was English, and it was 180 million to 220 million. They don't know exactly how much they spent. I guess their budget office wasn't paying attention. Anyway, so they made 42.2 million at the box office. So I guess I'm not the only one that their reputation really screwed up them getting this movie out, probably because it had messaging in it, just a little bit. But you know how Walt Disney is; they got to do all that. So anyway, I like the light cycles that they put on and the special effects for that, and with the little red line. But they didn't do much of that this time. It was more hide and go seek and chasing each other around, and it really wasn't about the light cycles like the first one, which made it more interesting, because that's what the actual game was about, is the light cycles, not chasing each other down and trying to bring them back to the game. But that's the way it works, and that's how they did it. Maybe that's why people don't want to watch it so much. Anyway, I'll go ahead and get off of here and watch this movie at your own risk. I'm not recommending it or telling you to go buy this one. Watch this one.
Thank you.